Hi, welcome back to this bossing showcase. Today we're going to be going over, I would forget the name immediately when I start this. Hold up, I got this though. Shadowed by Darkness, and we're going to be killing the Bloodlords. So this guy's very similar to the Emperor on Holy Ground. He's got the same kind of teleporting around attacks, but before we go into attacks and how to dodge them, his windups, all that good stuff, we're going to go over his items because he actually has some decent items he can drop and stuff you can make with that. So let's jump right into that. So there are two different modes that are going to give you different results here. You've got normal to hard mode, which is grouped into one type, and then you've got hero mode. So on the middle left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see the different stats they've got. So hero mode has double the health of hard to normal, and almost double the attack, and more than double the defense. So I didn't put myself through that when I was doing this, just because the only difference is you get those scrolls, which are super rare. So anyway, item-wise, you get Bloodlord, Blood, Vampire Essence, and all of the components from the Vampire Lord armor from both Hero and Normal. And then while you're playing Normal, you have the chance of getting an Epic Enhancement Stone, and for Hero, you can get all of those scrolls. So like I was saying before, the chance that you're going to get one of these scrolls is super thin, so unless you're farming this, like 100 times or something, probability is that you're not going to get this. So if you're just running through this one time and you're thinking, oh, I'll just do it on Hero mode, I might get a scroll, I wouldn't do that. I would just kind of pass over it on hard mode, because even though these scrolls range from like 100k to 10, 20, 30m, it's just not worth it practically to just try to go through the fight in hero mode and try to get one if you're just doing it once. Other than that though, both normal, hard, and hero mode all drop Bloodlord's hair as a break off. So what you want to do for this break off is you want to hit him in the head with the spear 3 times. Fairly obvious whenever you do it because he'll kind of stagger backwards. I'll talk about how to do this a little bit later. But with Bloodlord's hair, you can craft all of these things on the screen right here through NPCs, and then there's like a super, super long list of other things you could craft if you have the expertise. I think I'll put that in the description too as a link, so you could just check out all those things if you're interested. But that pretty much covers all of the items, and yeah, let's move on to the attacks. Finally, we get to our boss. So this is the Bloodlord, and believe me when I tell you that he's 100% nightmare fuel. He's got those Wolverine claws, that evil twitch, no pupils, kind of a Freddy Krueger look to him, and he can teleport behind you whenever you're not looking and slash your throat out. So pretty much everything that you could imagine that's scary, this guy's got. But he's not as hard as he actually looks. So jumping right into the fight, we got all these base monsters spawned in. He won't move for like about 5 or 6 seconds if you don't get close to him. So you could take out the base monsters real quick so that you're not worrying about dodging fireballs as soon as you spawn in. Other than that though, he's got this first attack right here where he initiates it and he goes into full-on Blair Witch mode. And what I mean by that is he'll hunch over, his body will get real relaxed like, and he'll float up into the air and stuff around him will start exploding. I don't know if it's meteors or just, random gas explosions, but you just want to get away from him whenever he does this. Luckily though, during this attack, it takes about 6 or 7 seconds to execute, so you can drink a potion, revive your party members, whatever you need to do during this. So this is kind of a little break during the fight. I really like this attack because, you can get a potion in or whatever you need to do. I use this a lot for spear throwing. You'll see right here. This is when I got all the break-offs because you know exactly where he's going to land, and when he does, he has a little bit of a buffer time. So I hit it about 90% of the time, and you should be able to hit it more because I'm not super great at throwing spears. But yeah, it was pretty easy to get the break-offs if you aim right when he lands from that attack, so I would go for that. Other than that though, he's got another one where he initiates it with that Blair Witch mode. This one, however, has much less attack range. You'll see right here, I actually managed to get a Mana Blade to kill him off right when he was doing this attack, so the range is actually super, super short on this. So I would aim, as soon as he's done with it, get a couple attacks in because, again, the range is so short. The last attack where he initiates with Blair Witch mode, this one right here, so it's kind of like the Land's ultimate where he kind of just slashes around. Just generally, whenever he goes Blair Witch, I would stay away from him, and if it's that second version, then you can come back in after, but just as general precaution, I would stay away from him during that. So like I said, this boss is very similar to the boss in Holy Ground in that he can teleport behind you, and he has a bunch of different variations for it, but it'll always spawn behind your back. So on this one, he appears upside down and slashes at you. It's a super short range attack, so no matter which way you dodge, you should be able to dodge it fine. But he does have a couple different variations where he'll either do the Vegeta Final Flash or slash forward at you. So I would just watch out for that. Just remember that he always spawns at your back, so if you could kind of just stand still, it's pretty easy to figure out where he's going to spawn. You'll see right there, that's the Vegeta Final Flash type thing. Again, same thing as all the other bosses, you can just dodge into it, dodge under it, whatever you need to do, and it'll be fine. It's not a super hard attack. So he's got that one right there, which is kind of like a yell, Fosruda, if you will. This can actually change directions, so if you're thinking like dodge to the right, I would actually dodge back, because if you dodge to the right, he's going to change directions and just kind of screw you over. It's happened to me a couple times, and it'll put a damage effect on you, Flames from the Other World, which I don't remember how much damage it does a second, but regardless, it does do DPS, so you want to stay away from this attack in general. It's one of the more dangerous ones, I think. So the last couple of attacks are just regular old melee attacks, but it's important to realize that he can do these as soon as he pops up from behind you. So you'll see that slash one right there, that's usually the biggest problem. You can see his windup, he kind of bends over to his left side and then slashes towards you, and then he can either link a Final Flash or another one of those rushing attacks. So that was the attack that gave me the most trouble melee-wise, but other than that, he's just got a regular old double swipe attack, which isn't much of a problem. Do the same thing we do for all of them. You dodge in for the first, dodge out for the second, and you should be fine. So that pretty much covers all of the attacks for this guy. Again, it's a lot easier than they make it seem with that beginning cutscene, but just generally for raids, I would just be careful when you start getting into it, and you know, just run around, get a feel for the boss. He isn't very hard to run away from, so you can get a feel for his attacks, get a few pokes in, jump right out, and then I mean, he has that huge buffer time during that one spinning attack where you can just drink potions if you need to. So yeah, don't rush this boss and just kind of keep the damage on him and you should be fine. Once again, you'll see right here, this is what I was talking about towards the end. He was doing this attack and I finished up with the Mana Blade. And yeah, that pretty much sums up the video for the Bloodlord. I know this video was a little bit differently formatted this time, so let me know if you liked it or if you want me to do like more bosses a video, because I can totally do that. But if you enjoyed, I just want to thank you for sticking around. And I'll see you in the next video. Later.